So, as you can see, we are doing the last video of our FTMO challenge attempt number 3, the series that we've started. There's 4 parts in this one. There's when we first started, and then the middle of the first week, and then the second week, and then I'm going to do just a little bit. I always do the last video just kind of to do just an overview of what happened and potential things that we can do for the next challenge moving forward. Sorry, really dry. Okay, and so moving forward, I'm just going to pump out this video really quickly here. We're just going to go over how we did. And as you can see, we had quite a big dip here at one moment in time. If you do not remember, be sure to go check out the previous videos. But the account that we're doing is we're doing the $10,000 account, which started on the 27th of July and ended on the 9th, which was yesterday. And we did use the swing account. And if you guys don't remember, the swing account is for you can hold trades over the weekend and you can trade over any kind of news. So there's no news restrictions. The only downfall is that the leverage is 1 to 30. And if we go over to our manual here, the recommended amount, the least recommended is 1 to 300, and the max, what you should be using is 1 to 500. So we're using very, very small amount of what it should be. Now that's not to say that it won't work. It's just something to be aware of if you are looking to use the EA bot, and it's just good to know all these things before you enter into something. And I'm doing that for you guys. So as you can see here, we have hit our max loss of the overall drawdown that we're allowed to have with the account, and also the max daily loss. So as you can see here, it looks like our deepest one was around 1300, and then I guess on the overall loss, again, I never know why one is smaller than the other, especially when the max over loss should be, I feel, this one. So if anyone knows about that, please leave a comment down below so I know what I'm looking at here. As you can see, we were close to hitting our profit target, but again, because we were in drawdown for almost more than a week, then I think that's why we were kind of stuck up on this area right here. And kind of like in the last few challenges, we start off really strong, and then the next week will happen, or the end of the week will happen of the first week, and we'll start into these small drawdown phases, which then just get bigger and bigger as it progresses through the challenge, which sucks because we usually end up failing the challenge. Now this is twice or 3 times now. Well, it's 3 times total, but this twice of us doing the $10,000 challenge because the first challenge that we did before they switched over to you being able to choose the different challenges that you could do for the test challenge, we did the $50,000. But now we're running it on the $10,000 challenge, and it's only been twice that we've done that. And both those times that we failed were in this it started to happen at the end of the very first week, and then on to the second week is when things started to kind of like really fall apart. So looking at our statistics here, our average profit was around $31. Our average loss was 24, and then our win rate 63%, so not bad for the win rate. And as you can see, these are all the lots that we used. On the right hand side here, you can see when we first started, almost every day we were profiting 27, 28, 29, 30. 31 was, I'm pretty sure, a Sunday it was. And then Sunday, Monday, so 2, 3 would have been usually Sunday, Monday are pretty slow. So, but every day since then, there's profit, and then we had that small little gap right here. But because we were in drawdown, it prevented us from really hitting that goal and us sweeping to hit the limits that we're not supposed to hit. Because remember, if we would have made it to the 2 weeks and we wouldn't have hit any of these, then I would have let it run to the 3rd week to see if we could actually pass it, because you do have a full month on the real test. So if we're going to do the test challenge, we might as well play it out like the real test, because, like, why would you not do that? So scrolling down here, so you can see the kind of trades and activity that we were having. with the EA bot and the pairs that we were using. As you can see, in the settings, we did put the defaults. Sorry, we weren't using the default settings. We did make some modifications. One of the things was the lot size, and we took off fixed lot, or we turned off the auto lot and put it to fixed lot, which we put it at 13. And as you can see, the way that the bot works, when you go into drawdown, it opens up bigger lot size as it gets deeper and deeper. And so that's why you're seeing these ones that are dipping down quite a bit. As you can see, a lot of USD CAD positions here that were opening up, and that's because it was going into such deep drawdown. Now, seeing that, I believe that obviously the fixed lot of 13 to start off is too high, and we're going to need to lower that. I'm almost thinking maybe we even need to lower it down to 5. Maybe it could be even smaller. Another thing I did want to go over was that one of the things that happened, or one of the, I knew, sorry, let me rephrase this. When the news came out on the day that USD CAD decided to go plummet down, it was a red folder in Forex Factory. Now, if you don't know what Forex Factory is, Forex Factory is, well, this is from what I know. Now, I'm not no expert on this, but it's kind of like a news-related, so fundamental kind of page on what's happening with the specific pairs, and if a red folder happens, then it would cause the pair to react in a certain way, and so like you would have to be careful. And I'm sure it may actually even be in the FTMO here as well for last week's news. It could have been a red folder as well, meaning that it was a restricted time to be trading that. But because we're on the swing account, we can't take that trade, and because we were in the opposite direction, or in the opposite position, so we were in the sell instead of a buy, it went the other way, and so we got hit with our limits that we aren't supposed to hit and caused us to fail. But as you can see, we were making decent profit up until that point. Now the question is, do we need to be more aware, and do we need to have to look after it more, or do we just lower the lot size, right? And this is why we're doing this over and over again. And maybe it's not just about finding the best settings, but there have to be, maybe there's added things that you have to do to ensure that the bot can work properly while using the FTMO account. So maybe you can't leave it at all and just let it run. Maybe there's specific things that you have to do that the bot works optimally in certain situations, and that you need to prevent it from not kind of veering off track. You kind of like a Machado playing with the puppet. Pachetto, I don't even know what the hell that name is. That was a bad example. Sorry. But you know what I mean, like taking control of it. And if the bot works in a certain situations where it doesn't, so like in these big news things where it dips down, if you're in the opposite direction, then you're screwed. Do we need to turn off the bot during these big news things to wait to see what happens so that it plays out, or do we just lower the lot size? Again, these are things that we're gonna have to figure out. And again, if you guys have any ideas, be sure to leave a comment down below, because we're doing this together, and whoever's watching this, and if you have any ideas as well, that's another thing that we can do. One thing else, I remember someone telling me that we can also lower the profit factor in the actual settings. So this part right here, the take profit part, instead of it being at 30, maybe bring it down a little bit, maybe to like 20, or maybe even lower than that, so that you know, we're taking smaller chips, and then we're getting out of trades before they could actually go bad. Now again, this is something that we could do. Be nice to know your guys' thoughts on it, but you know, just something to think about. And I think these are the things that we're going to have to kind of piece together to really find the best settings, as well as person behind the computer that also is running the bot to also take into account as well that you may have to turn it off at a certain time, or You maybe change something at a certain time, like when news comes out, so that you can protect yourself from ever hitting these limits. So let's go back to our thing here, because I didn't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to show you guys that this was the end of the third attempt. We did fail, and moving on to the next one, we are going to be changing some things like I was just mentioning before in the VPS. So I'm thankful for anyone that watched, and I know if you've been watching now since the very first challenge, you may be thinking, well, like, when is he ever going to pass? Well, this just kind of really shows that, you know, if you do pass with the bot, it's not, I mean, it's not really just about passing. It's passing, and then what happens after that? Like, the market changes. So just because you had a good week or 2 weeks or a month and you were able to pass the first and second phase of the challenge, doesn't mean that you can always be on this amazing route with the bot. And maybe there's things that you have to do that can make it so that the bot can work, but leaving it on its own, we know that the chances of that happening are becoming more and more slim. And why it's better to just use your own capital and let it slowly build it on its own, because there are no limits. There's no daily or weekly or like, you know, like you have to finish it by a certain amount, or the drawdown, like you don't have, you know, you can go into deeper than 50% drawdown if you need to. And we know, because from my personal account, if you guys haven't watched that on my Instagram, you know that it can, like, any drawdown that I've ever been in with the XBot, it's always recovered. For the 6 months that I've been using it, I've only ever made profit, and that's without any restrictions though. So again, if you have any questions or you have any ideas that could help us pass, be sure to leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Have a good day, guys.